Welcome back for another Bright Lights moment. Today we're going to take a walk through Proverbs, and I'm going to introduce you to a few pairs of individuals that God has laid out for us there. I love the book of Proverbs. It's very rich. Our first pair of people is the foolish and the wise. Foolish means perverse, silly, stupid, wicked, vile, impious, that's hating things relating to God or religion, seducible, easily tricked. Proverbs 9:13 tells us that a foolish woman is clamorous. That's loud and full of themselves and just says all the wrong things at the wrong time. She's simple and knoweth nothing. Proverbs 14:1 tells us every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. When you pluck your house down with your hands, it's not speaking of the physical structure, it's speaking of your family. It means your words and your actions are destroying your family instead of building them up. Proverbs also tells us that fools despise their parents, despise instruction, and their mouths pour out foolishness. Now on the other hand, we have the wise. The definition of wise is intelligent, skillful, artful, cunning, subtle, circumspect, expert. It can separate mentally, distinguish between things, and understand. Proverbs 10:19 tells us that in the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. Proverbs 9:8-9 tells us that if you reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee, but you can rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. And then Proverbs 15:1 says, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright. So we see here that the wise man knows how to use his mouth well, and he will respond well to correction and to instruction, and the foolish man is exactly opposite. The next pair of people I want you to encounter today is the wicked and the righteous. Wicked means morally wrong, bad, ungodly, evil. They spoil others. They make things and people good for nothing. They're lewd, that's immorality. They commit wicked crimes. They have bad plans. They're mischievous and witty. Proverbs 11:18 says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work. Proverbs 17:4 says, a wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. Proverbs 28:4 says, they that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. The wicked hate the law, they listen to liars, and they are deceitful. Now the righteous man is one who is just, lawful, straight, upright. He promotes equity, he brings prosperity to others, and he's virtuous. Proverbs 10:32 says that the lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh frowardness. Proverbs 12:5 explains, the thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. Notice the thoughts of the righteous are even right. Proverbs 13:5, a righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and cometh to shame. The last pair we're going to look at for today is the slothful man, otherwise known as the sluggard, versus the diligent man. And of course these can be women too. The definition of slothful is remiss, which means to lack care or be negligent. You just kind of leave things out. It's treacherous, idle, slack, deceitful, indolent, another word for lazy, slacken, and they cease and abate. They just quit at everything. Proverbs 18:9 says, he also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. Proverbs 26:16 tells us, the sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. You cannot reason with a slothful person. And then we know Proverbs chapter 6 has the section about go to the ant where the sluggard can get wisdom. Now the diligent, on the other hand, is incisive. That means they can make decisions. They're determined. They're eager. They'll dig or mine for something. You think about mining for gold. They'll find a way through obstacles. They're skillful, quick, and early risers. Proverbs 12:27 explains, the slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting. He's very wasteful. But the substance of a diligent man is precious. He had to work for it, so he values it. Proverbs 21:5, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty, only to want. Notice thoughts again. I have 2 quick stories I'm going to share with you here. When I was little, we had a lot of dress up we would play with, and there was this one floppy hat that I nicknamed it my Loud Lady Folly hat. Not a good name. But I would play with that hat, and it wasn't until I got older that I really understood what that name meant, and then I wondered why in the world I ever called it that. But in my childish mind, I remembered the stories I'd heard about the book of Proverbs, and to me that hat just had a gaudy appearance to it. So interesting that I chose that name. And then secondly, in relation to me learning to be diligent, many of you know about the clothing swaps that our church puts on. Well, when I was young, I had a convenient way of disappearing, because my least favorite chore was spreading out the clothes. I just couldn't tell which ones were men's and women's and adults versus girls, and it was so much work to fold them, and they all had different smells, and some were dirty, some were clean, and I just didn't like that. I'd put the toys out, or the books, but not the clothes. So I managed to disappear a lot of the time. Well, God had to work on me on that, and now I think I've grown to be more diligent, and I'm willing to help with that, even if I don't enjoy it, because I don't want to be a sluggard. Next week, we're going to look at a few more characters in Proverbs, and then we're going to have you evaluate yourself. Do you see yourself in any of these characters, good or bad? Keep that in mind for next week. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.